Joining us now for more is Tennessee Congressman and member of the House Foreign Affairs Committee, Congressman Tim Burchett. Congressman, good to see you again. Good morning.
Hey, Rob, thanks for having me. And it's pronounced La Quinta in East Tennessee.
East Tennessee, it's La Quinta. In my neck of the woods, area, it's definitely La Quinta. Big fan of La Quinta, though. They allow you to have your dog as well.
Yeah.
Like that. All right, Congressman, I'm curious. So I want to play some video for you. I'm sure you've seen this by now, but I wanted to get your reaction. Hundreds of Seattle firefighters and police officers walking up the steps to City Hall there in one of our country's biggest cities, handing in their boots over these vaccine mandates. How powerful was this? What'd you make of this?
Very powerful. You know, those are the folks that rush in when the rest of us rush out.
Right.
Some of my best friends, my buddy Les Gibbs and Knoxville's a fireman. I'm very close to the fire department in our community and our volunteer firemen throughout the 2nd Congressional District.
A year ago, these people were heroes. People were lining up applauding frontline workers, whether they were people that worked in hospitals or whether they were firefighters or police officers, our nation's finest, bravest, people that saved lives when we didn't have a vaccine. Now we've got a vaccine. Over 45 million people have had coronavirus, and these companies are jumping the gun on what could be something that is unconstitutional. What do you make of these mandates?
I agree. I think they are unconstitutional. And if you go deeper, I think we're seeing people in the military. They're going to be leaving us. Can you imagine? We've got China flying a rocket over our country that is capable of delivering nuclear warheads, and we're seeing our military decimated, primarily our conservative military members. You're going to see it in education and, of course, in healthcare and our firemen, our policemen. It's a recipe for disaster for our country, and the president, again, I believe, is asleep at the switch. I don't believe he's aware mentally of what is going on.
Yeah, that's and it's a stark contrast as well, because those mandates for the military are going to kick in. The first mandate happens on November the 2nd. So we're getting closer and closer to people actually being dishonorably discharged because they didn't get a vaccine mandate that is based on an executive order, not an actual law. And our biggest adversary, China, to your point, is it appears like they're getting ready for war. I want to ask you about the Attorney General, Merrick Garland. He's going to be on Capitol Hill testifying before Congress. I'm sure that questions will be asked about weaponizing the DOJ to go after millions of parents in this country. But what are you going to ask him about vaccine mandates and the constitutionality of these mandates?
Well, of course, is it legit? And what is his end game with this? And what are we going to do with the next virus? What are we going to do down the road? And it goes back to the constitutional question. Is this, in fact, constitutionally mandated or allowed? And I submit to you it is not. It's just going to decimate our country. It demoralizes our people. And, this whole administration is just out to lunch. They're not listening to what mainstream America is saying and what is going on in our country. And it will continue to, you'll see the president's numbers continue to plummet. And you're going to see more and more Democrats in Congress. I just heard yesterday 2 more decided they weren't going to run again. It's just on down the line, and it won't end. It will not end until this bunch is out of office, and it couldn't happen soon enough.
That's a great point, Congressman, and you're right. They're saying they're retiring for personal reasons. You know it's political. These are close swing districts. We're less than 13 months away from these midterm elections. Merrick Garland will be testifying at 10 o'clock Eastern this morning. We will all be watching. Congressman Tim Burchett, good to see you again. Thank you.
Thanks, Rob. Thanks for having me on, brother.
Of course. Pleasure.